Choosing the wrong woman can quietly wreck your entire life, not through one explosive fight, but through gradual erosion, wasted time, scattered focus, emptied bank accounts, shattered self-confidence, and years you'll never recover. Some women don't enter your life to grow alongside you. They show up to feed off your energy, your protection, your resources, and your peace of mind, leaving you far more depleted than when they arrived. And here's the hardest pill to swallow. Most men don't fall because they're weak. They fall because they overlook the early warning signs, mistaking red flags for passion or fixable issues, until the damage is irreversible. That's why, in this video, I'm breaking down 7 types of women you should never get seriously involved with. This isn't about attacking women, it's about safeguarding your future. We're talking clear, repeatable patterns, and real-world behaviors that seem minor at first, but turn into cages later on. I'm not just throwing out labels. I'll reveal the mindset traps that keep good men stuck, exactly how these dynamics unfold in real relationships, and the practical steps you need to take so you never become another guy who learns these lessons the painful way. Let's dive in. 1. The master of lies by omission. This type is especially treacherous because it never feels like outright deceit in the beginning. She doesn't fabricate wild stories. She simply leaves out the crucial pieces that would change everything. She hands you a carefully edited version of reality, one that paints her in the best light and keeps you comfortably in the dark. Early on, everything seems perfect. The chemistry is electric. Conversations flow smoothly. The connection feels genuine. You're excited, building what you believe is something solid. But gradually, a subtle unease creeps in. Things are almost transparent, but never quite fully clear. You ask a straightforward question, and her response sounds reasonable on the surface, yet it skillfully dodges the core issue. Push for real details on something important, and suddenly you're made to feel like you're being too intense, or demanding for simply wanting the truth. Inconsistencies pop up quietly, timelines shift slightly, certain names surface late. Key facts trickle in weeks or months later, as if they're minor afterthoughts. That's the real trap. When the full truth finally emerges, it doesn't arrive gently. It hits like a bombshell, a betrayal you never saw coming. And the cruelest twist? When you react with hurt or confusion, she flips the script entirely. Instead of owning what she withheld, she zeroes in on your response, making you the problem. You're overthinking. You're being paranoid. Why can't you just trust me? Suddenly you're defending your right to feel blindsided. Brother, you're not trying to control her life. You're trying to build on honest ground. A mature woman can protect her privacy without resorting to evasion. She can set healthy boundaries without creating deliberate fog. Omission isn't innocent forgetfulness. It's a calculated choice to withhold information so you can't make fully informed decisions. If she's comfortable hiding key truths while she's still in the impress you phase, imagine how much bolder it gets once she feels secure. Most men stumble here because they spot the gaps, but choose to overlook them. They double down on patience, tell themselves she'll open up when she's ready, or try to be the cool, understanding guy. But that only delays the inevitable. By the time the bigger revelations hit, you are already deeply invested, your emotions tied up, your standards compromised, and that quiet self-betrayal sets the stage perfectly for the second type, who takes deception to an entirely different level of calculated danger. 2. The transactional dater who sees you as a resource. This woman doesn't lead with genuine connection or emotional investment. She approaches dating with a mental ledger, always calculating what's in it for her and how quickly she can access it. Her first question isn't, is he a good man with strong character? It's, what can he offer me, and how soon? Let's be real, providing isn't the issue. A strong masculine man naturally wants to provide and protect. The problem arises when she views you not as a partner, but as a service provider. You sense it in the subtle shifts. Conversations start feeling like subtle negotiations, Warmth appears only when the spending does. Respect feels conditional on what you deliver, rather than who you are at your core. She rarely demands outright. Instead, she drops hints, plants expectations, makes casual suggestions that carry heavy weight. Fail to pick up on them, and the vibe changes instantly. Coldness, distance, irritation. Not because you wronged her, but because you didn't fulfill the unspoken role she assigned you. Then come the ego-poking lines designed to trigger your provider instinct. A real man handles his business. If you cared, you'd make it happen. I'm just used to a certain standard. Other guys never had an issue with this. Many brothers bite the bait because no man wants to feel inadequate or less capable. They start proving themselves with their wallet, thinking they're earning her heart, when they are actually signing an invisible contract. Once that dynamic locks in, it never stops. It wasn't about the specific gift, dinner, or favor. It was about establishing the pattern. Affection, attention, and respect become rewards tied directly to what you provide. Over time, you don't even notice how exhausted and resentful you've become until you wake up realizing you've been paying, literally and emotionally, just to be treated decently. A genuine woman appreciates effort and provision without making them prerequisites for basic respect and warmth. She can enjoy nice things while still valuing you when money isn't flowing. She sees you as a partner to build with, not a resource to extract from. Most men stumble here because they mistake high maintenance for high value. They think constant demands mean she's a catch, that the effort proves she's special. But real high value isn't measured in expense. It's measured in consistency, mutual respect, and emotional generosity. And when you're dealing with a transactional data, you'll often spot the third type right alongside her. Because a woman who wants all the benefits of a relationship without full commitment usually wants the freedom to act single while still collecting those perks. Before we go deeper, brother, do me a quick favor. Smash that like button so this message reaches more men who are quietly struggling with this exact dynamic. Appreciate you. Let's keep going. 3. She weaponizes sex, affection, or silence. This type operates quietly and insidiously at first. In the beginning, she's loving, attentive, and consistent. Everything feels warm and connected. But as time passes, a pattern emerges. Her affection starts functioning like a reward system. When you align perfectly with what she wants, you get the full warmth. Hugs, sweet words, physical closeness, emotional availability. Step out of line, set a boundary, disagree, or simply have a different opinion, and it vanishes. Not always with yelling or drama. Sometimes it's cold silence, emotional distance, withheld intimacy, or a subtle chill that feels like deliberate punishment. You catch yourself scrambling to fix it, replaying every word in your mind, wondering what you did to deserve the freeze out, even when your only crime was standing your ground or expressing a need. That's the real trap. She's conditioning you to link boundaries with pain and loss of connection. Over time, you learn to prioritize keeping the peace over speaking your truth. Self-respect takes a back seat to avoiding the withdrawal. A man who keeps shrinking like this doesn't stay calm forever. He grows frustrated, resentful, reactive, and she can then point to his reactions as proof he's the problem, justifying even colder treatment. A healthy, mature woman communicates when something bothers her. She doesn't turn intimacy, affection, or basic warmth into tools for control. Love isn't a remote she uses to train your behavior. Most brothers fall hard here because silence or withheld affection hits deep. It triggers pride, anxiety, fear of loss. They chase explanations, over-apologize, negotiate for basic closeness, or try harder to earn back the good version of her. Every time they do, they reinforce her power, making the weapon sharper and more effective. And once she knows she can steer you with mood swings and selective affection, it becomes effortless for her to keep other men in the picture, collecting attention, favors, or backup options, while still maintaining innocence and control in your dynamic. This opens the door wide for the fifth type, who takes that control to an entirely new level of calculated self-interest. 4. She keeps multiple providers and calls them friends. This is one of the sneakiest modern setups because she can maintain the appearance of being single while enjoying all the perks of a fully supported relationship. One guy covers rides or lends money for transport. Another steps in for bills during tough months. Someone else handles hair, nails, shopping, or groceries. There's always that one reliable friend on call for emergencies or last-minute needs. She labels them all innocently, just friends. Good guys who help out, platonic connections. But let's keep it real. Grown men don't consistently open their wallets for a woman without some form of expectation, attachment, or hope for more. Resources don't flow that freely without strings, whether emotional, implied, or outright. Even if nothing physical is happening, and you have to take her word on that, the core problem remains massive. She's completely comfortable accepting relationship-level benefits, while giving zero relationship-level commitment. She's built a safety net of providers who keep her lifestyle afloat, without demanding exclusivity. So when you step in as her official man, what changes? Not as much as you think. You don't replace the roster, you simply upgrade to the primary slot. You become the main sponsor, while the friends linger in the shadows, ready to fill any gaps. The second you pause, set a boundary, or say "I can't right now," she doesn't panic. She already has backups who've been conditioned to step up. Most brothers get trapped here because they dread the confrontation. They don't want to come off as jealous, controlling, or insecure, so they swallow the discomfort and accept a dynamic that leaves them perpetually replaceable. And when you're replaceable, real respect becomes optional. She knows she has options waiting. That feeling of being one of many sets the stage perfectly for the sixth type, who takes advantage of your willingness to overlook the roster by dangling a beautiful future in front of you that she has no real intention of delivering. 5. She sells you dreams to keep you paying. This woman doesn't come across as demanding or needy. She's far smoother. She's a master marketer of hope. She paints vivid pictures of a beautiful tomorrow with words that hit deep. "We're going to build an amazing life together. I can really see you as my husband one day. I've never felt this way about anyone before. You're truly different from every other guy." Those words land hard, because men aren't just chasing physical connection. We crave purpose, legacy, and the feeling of being genuinely chosen for our character and strength. When she dangles that vision, it feels like fuel. You start investing heavier, more protection, more time, more resources, more patience, more emotional energy. All because you believe the big payoff is just around the corner. But here's the catch. That promised future stays forever on the horizon, never quite arriving. The relationship remains vague and undefined, commitment stays murky, boundaries stay loose, and the effort remains painfully one-sided. Every time you try to pin things down or ask for clarity, she pitches it into an emotional guilt trip. "Why are you pressuring me? Can't you just trust the process? If you really loved me, you wouldn't need labels right now." Suddenly, asking for basic direction makes you the bad guy, the impatient one, the one who doesn't believe in us. Fear kicks in, push too hard, and risk losing the dream she's been selling. So you back off, stay patient, keep investing, hoping her beautiful words will eventually turn into matching actions. Most brothers get stuck here, because the fear of losing that potential future outweighs the reality of the present imbalance. They keep paying, with time, money, energy, or all three, in exchange for hope, convincing themselves that she'll come around if they just hold on a little longer. But time alone doesn't convert promises into reality. Character does. If she has to keep you emotionally tethered with visions of tomorrow, it's because today's reality isn't strong enough to stand on its own. She's not building with you. She's keeping you on the hook while enjoying the benefits today. And that constant hope without delivery setup leads perfectly into the seventh and final type, the one who doesn't even need your money or grand promises to wreck your peace, because her addiction runs purely on the endless high of attention and validation from multiple sources. 6. The attention addict who craves validation above all. This woman isn't necessarily malicious, but she's a serious threat to any man who prioritizes real peace and focus in his life. Her deepest loyalty isn't to you or the relationship. It's to the constant rush of feeling desired and wanted by others. Even when she's officially with you, her behavior screams availability. Flirty DMs that cross lines. A circle of male orbiters who linger with clear interest. Best friends where boundaries are conveniently blurry. Social media posts crafted to spark thirst and compliments. Keeping exes or old admirers on standby just in case. Subtle actions that seem harmless individually, but add up to blatant disrespect when you see the full picture. She normalizes it all with smooth deflections. I'm just friendly, it's networking, you're overreacting, why are you so insecure? But a grounded man feels the difference instinctively. When his woman is fully locked in with him, versus when she's still broadcasting open for approaches to the world. A confident, social woman can absolutely stay disciplined and respectful. She can be outgoing and attractive without constantly feeding external egos or inviting unnecessary attention. The issue isn't her personality. It's the addiction to validation that overrides loyalty and consideration for you. Most brothers get trapped because they believe they can outshine the competition or love her hard enough to make her settle. They pour in more effort, more reassurance, more everything, thinking it'll finally satisfy her need. But attention addiction doesn't fade just because you're a great man. It only calms when she develops real self-control and chooses maturity over the high of external admiration. If she lacks that discipline, you'll spend forever feel like you're sharing her, competing with invisible rivals for someone who should be fully yours. Your peace erodes, your focus splits, your self-respect takes quiet hits every time you overlook another boundary crossed. Brother, this isn't about demonizing women. It's about empowering yourself to choose wisely before investing years. The wrong woman doesn't merely waste your time. She steadily chips away at your confidence, derails your mission, and transforms you into a lesser version of the man you're meant to be. Don't debate red flags. Don't bargain with toxic patterns. Don't play the hero trying to fix what isn't your job to repair. You deserve a woman who adds to your life, not one who subtracts from it. Stay sharp and king.